So far, we've learned the language of genetic genealogy, centimorgans, SNPs, chromosomes, recombination, Y-DNA, mtDNA, and autosomal DNA. Now we're ready to move from vocabulary into actual detective work. Today I'll show you 3 of the most important techniques every genetic genealogist eventually learns: Leeds Method, color clustering, and chromosome mapping. These are the processes professionals use every single day. A DNA test by itself doesn't magically tell you who your ancestors were. Thousands of matches quickly become overwhelming. Organization is what transforms chaos into evidence. This is exactly where most beginners get stuck. They think they need to investigate every match individually. That's impossible. Instead, we organize first and investigate second. The Leeds Method revolutionized genetic genealogy because it's incredibly simple. Instead of trying to identify every cousin, you group people who all match each other. Eventually, those groups represent your grandparents. The magic happens because DNA relatives from the same grandparent tend to match one another. As you color these groups, patterns naturally emerge. You don't initially know who these people belong to. The colors come first. The identities come later. If you've ever stared at thousands of DNA matches wondering where to begin, this is your answer. Once DNA databases became enormous, manual grouping wasn't enough. Researchers created automated clustering. Imagine a giant spreadsheet where every square represents 2 people matching one another. Clusters begin to appear naturally. The biggest clusters usually represent your largest documented family lines. Smaller clusters often point toward brick walls or mystery ancestors. Different websites create clusters differently, but the goal remains exactly the same: find groups of relatives who all belong together. This is where genetic genealogy becomes incredibly powerful. If enough cousins overlap in the same chromosome, you can often identify the ancestor who contributed that DNA. Triangulation is one of the strongest forms of genetic evidence available. It's much stronger than simply matching someone. Eventually, your chromosomes begin to look like a geographic map of your ancestry. When documentary evidence becomes weak, DNA segments often become the deciding evidence. Think of these as 3 levels. Leads organizes people, clusters reveal larger patterns. Chromosome mapping identifies exactly where your DNA came from. This workflow is how many experienced genetic genealogists tackle unknown parentage cases and complex family mysteries. Organization saves enormous amounts of time. Always document what you've learned, because you'll revisit the same matches repeatedly as your tree grows. Everything we've covered in episodes 1 through 4 builds toward the real goal: using DNA as evidence alongside traditional genealogy. The methods we've discussed, leads, color clustering, and chromosome mapping, are the foundation of countless success stories, from identifying unknown ancestors to solving decades-old family mysteries.